Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, peace, mercy, and blessings of Allah be upon you. The role of Islamic scholarship in preserving knowledge. From the dusty libraries of Baghdad to the grand halls of Al-Azhar University, Islamic scholars have played a pivotal role in safeguarding, developing, and transmitting knowledge through the centuries. Today, we explore how Islamic scholarship has not only preserved Islamic teachings but also acted as a bridge between ancient civilizations and the modern world. This extraordinary intellectual journey spans over a millennium, transforming human understanding across disciplines and continents. Let's discover how faith, reason, and dedication to knowledge converged to create one of history's most remarkable legacies. Foundations of knowledge in Islam. The pursuit of knowledge holds an unparalleled position in Islamic tradition. The very first word revealed in the Quran was iqra, meaning read or recite, found in Surah Al-Alaq 96 ayah 1. This divine command set the foundation for a civilization that would prioritize learning. Throughout the Quran, numerous verses elevate those who seek knowledge. Are those who know equal to those who do not know? Quran Surah 39 ayah 9. And Allah will raise those who have believed among you and those who were given knowledge, by degrees. Quran Surah 58 ayah 11. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, reinforced this value, stating, seeking knowledge is an obligation upon every Muslim, Ibn Majah, and the scholars are the inheritors of the prophets, Abu Dawud, Tirmidhi. In Islam, knowledge is considered a sacred trust and a form of worship. It encompasses both religious knowledge, naqli, including Quranic studies, hadith, and jurisprudence, and rational sciences, aqli, including mathematics, medicine, astronomy, and philosophy. This holistic approach to knowledge would become a hallmark of Islamic civilization. Early Islamic institutions for learning. As Islamic civilization expanded, formal institutions emerged to systematize education. The Prophet's mosque in Medina served as the first school in Islam, establishing a tradition where mosques became centers of learning alongside worship. These early mosque-based study circles, halakat, gradually evolved into more structured madrasas, universities, and libraries across the Islamic world. The waqf system, religious endowments, provided sustainable funding for these institutions, making education accessible across social classes. The crowning achievement was the Bayt al-Hikmah, House of Wisdom, in Baghdad, established in the 9th century by Caliph Harun al-Rashid and significantly expanded by his son al-Ma'mun. This institution became the greatest intellectual center of its time, housing countless manuscripts, employing scholars and translators from diverse backgrounds, and facilitating cross-cultural dialogue. Other remarkable institutions soon followed. 1. Al-Qarawiyyin University in Fez, Morocco, founded 859 CE, recognized as the oldest continuously operating university in the world. 2. Al-Azhar University in Cairo, Egypt, founded 970 CE, which remains a preeminent center of Sunni Islamic learning. 3. The Nizamiyya of Baghdad, founded 1065 CE, which standardized curriculum across the Islamic world. Role of Islamic scholars, ulama, in preservation. The ulama, scholars, formed the backbone of knowledge preservation in Islamic civilization. These dedicated individuals developed sophisticated methodologies to ensure authentic transmission of religious texts. For preserving the Quran, scholars established ilm al-qira'at, science of Quranic recitation, and methods of memorization, hifz, alongside written documentation. For hadith preservation, they created ilm al-hadith, science of hadith, including ilm al-rijal, biographical evaluation of narrators, and isnad, chain of transmission, verification. This system was revolutionary in assessing historical reliability. Major compilations that preserved Islamic knowledge include 1. Sahih al-Bukhari and Sahih Muslim, hadith collections. 2. The foundational texts of the 4 Sunni legal schools by Imams Abu Hanifa, Malik, Shafi'i, and Ahmad ibn Hanbal. 3. Comprehensive theological works by scholars like Imam al-Ghazali, Ibn Taymiyyah, and Ibn Rushd. The tradition of commentary, sharh, and explanation, tafsir, further preserved and contextualized knowledge across generations. Notable tafsir works by Ibn Kathir, al-Tabari, and al-Qurtubi ensured the Quran's meanings remained accessible. Translation movement and knowledge transmission. During the 8th to 10th centuries, an unprecedented translation movement transformed the intellectual landscape. With Arabic becoming the lingua franca of scholarship, Islamic rulers sponsored the translation of texts from Greek, Syriac, Persian, Sanskrit, and other languages. Hunayn ibn Ishaq, an Nestorian Christian scholar, led translation efforts of Greek medical and philosophical works. Al-Kindi, known as the philosopher of the Arabs, incorporated Greek philosophy into Islamic intellectual tradition. This movement preserved countless works that might otherwise have been lost during the turbulent periods following the collapse of classical civilizations. Texts by Aristotle, Plato, Euclid, Ptolemy, Hippocrates, and Galen were not merely translated but enhanced with commentaries and corrections. Islamic scholars thus became crucial bridges between civilizations, preserving ancient wisdom while adding their own innovations and insights. Scientific and philosophical achievements. Building on translated knowledge, Islamic scholars made groundbreaking contributions across disciplines. In medicine, Ibn Sina's monumental canon of medicine systematized medical knowledge and remained Europe's standard medical reference for over 700 years. Al-Razi differentiated between smallpox and measles, pioneered experimental medicine, and established the first pharmaceutical formulary. Mathematics flourished with Al-Khwarizmi's development of algebra, al-Jabr, and introduction of Hindu-Arabic numerals. Al-Razi advanced algebraic calculus, while Omar Khayyam solved cubic equations geometrically. Scientific and philosophical achievements. Building on translated knowledge, Islamic scholars made groundbreaking contributions across disciplines. In medicine, Ibn Sina's monumental canon of medicine systematized medical knowledge and remained Europe's standard medical reference for over 700 years. Al-Razi differentiated between smallpox and measles, pioneered experimental medicine, and established the first pharmaceutical formulary. Mathematics flourished with Al-Khwarizmi's development of algebra, al-Jabr, and introduction of Hindu-Arabic numerals. Al-Razi advanced algebraic calculus, while Omar Khayyam solved cubic equations geometrically. Role of scribes, libraries, and manuscript culture. The physical preservation of knowledge relied on a sophisticated culture of manuscript production and collection. Professional scribes, Warkan, meticulously copied texts in specialized workshops. The adoption of papermaking technology from China revolutionized book production, making texts more affordable and widespread than the previously used parchment. Libraries became treasures of civilization. The Library of Córdoba reportedly held over 400,000 volumes when the largest European libraries contained merely hundreds. The libraries of Baghdad, Cairo, and later Istanbul housed vast collections that attracted scholars from across the world. Role of scribes, libraries, and manuscript culture. The physical preservation of knowledge relied on a sophisticated culture of manuscript production and collection. Professional scribes, Warkan, meticulously copied texts in specialized workshops. The adoption of papermaking technology from China revolutionized book production, making texts more affordable and widespread than the previously used parchment. Libraries became treasures of civilization. The Library of Córdoba reportedly held over 400,000 volumes when the largest European libraries contained merely hundreds. The libraries of Baghdad, Cairo, and later Istanbul housed vast collections that attracted scholars from across the world. Preservation during political turmoil. One of Islamic scholarship's most remarkable achievements was its resilience during periods of political upheaval. When Baghdad fell to the Mongols in 1258, many feared Islamic intellectual tradition would collapse. Instead, scholars fled to Cairo, Damascus, Samarkand, and other centers, ensuring continuity of knowledge. The decentralized nature of Islamic scholarship proved crucial for preservation. With centers of learning spread from Andalusia to India, no single political disaster could eradicate the accumulated knowledge. Under the Ottoman, Safavid, and Mughal empires, scholarship regained institutional support. The Ottomans established extensive madrasa networks and libraries, while Mughal India fostered remarkable intellectual synthesis between Islamic and Indian traditions. Scholarly networks, Isnad, connecting teachers and students across regions and generations ensured that knowledge remained alive even when books were destroyed. This oral and written transmission system created remarkable resilience. Women's contributions to Islamic scholarship. Often overlooked in historical accounts are the significant contributions of women scholars to Islamic knowledge preservation. Aisha bint Abu Bakr, the Prophet's wife, narrated over 2,200 hadiths and became one of the most important sources of Islamic knowledge. Her students included prominent male and female scholars who spread her teachings. Fatima al-Fihri founded the University of Al-Qarawiyyin in Morocco in 859 CE, establishing what UNESCO recognizes as the oldest continuously operating university in the world. Throughout Islamic history, women like Karima al-Marwaziyya, a renowned hadith scholar, Fatima bint Muhammad al-Samarkandi, a notable jurist, and Zainab bint al-Kamal, who taught over 400 books through direct transmission, preserved and transmitted crucial texts. The tradition of women's scholarship continued through the Ottoman period, with institutions like the Dar al-Handasa employing female instructors and the phenomenon of house madrasas where women taught from their homes. The interfaith dimension of knowledge preservation. Islamic scholarship embraced a remarkable level of interfaith collaboration in knowledge preservation. In Abbasid Baghdad, Christian translators worked alongside Muslim and Jewish scholars at the House of Wisdom. Hunayn ibn Ishaq, an Nestorian Christian, led major translation projects, while Thabit ibn Qurra, a Sabian, made crucial mathematical contributions. In Muslim Spain, Jewish scholars like Maimonides engaged with Islamic philosophy while contributing to medicine and theology. The collaboration between scholars of different faiths preserved and expanded knowledge that transcended religious boundaries. During the Crusades and Reconquista, when interfaith relations were often violent, scholars maintained networks of intellectual exchange. Translation centers in Toledo saw Muslims, Christians, and Jews working together to translate Arabic texts into Latin. This interfaith dimension of knowledge preservation demonstrates how Islamic civilization's intellectual openness contributed to human knowledge beyond sectarian divisions. Mathematics and natural sciences. Islamic scholars made revolutionary contributions to mathematics and natural sciences, preserving ancient knowledge while making crucial advancements. In mathematics, Al-Khwarizmi's foundational works on algebra and arithmetic algorithms, the word algorithm derives from his name, transformed calculation methods. Muhammad al-Karaji extended algebraic operations to higher powers and developed early versions of mathematical induction. Ibn al-Haytham, al-Hazan, revolutionized optics with his Book of Optics, conducting systematic experiments on light reflection and refraction. His empirical methodology profoundly influenced later scientific methods. Al-Biruni measured the Earth's circumference with remarkable accuracy and conducted comparative studies across cultures. Al-Jazari created remarkable mechanical devices, documenting them in his Book of Knowledge of Ingenious Mechanical Devices. In chemistry, Jabir ibn Hayyan, Jeber, developed experimental methods and equipment still used today, while Al-Razi classified substances and pioneered distillation techniques. These contributions preserved ancient scientific knowledge while advancing it through empirical methods that would later influence the European scientific revolution. Transmission of knowledge to Europe. The transmission of Islamic scholarship to Europe fundamentally shaped Western intellectual history, though this influence is often under-acknowledged. Three major pathways facilitated this knowledge transfer. 1. Islamic Spain, Al-Andalus, where cities like Toledo became centers of translation from Arabic to Latin. 2. Sicily, where Norman rulers encouraged translation activities. 3. The Crusader states, where Europeans encountered advanced Islamic science and medicine. Key translators like Gerard of Cremona, who translated over 70 Arabic works into Latin, and Constantine the African, who introduced Arabic medical texts to Salerno, were instrumental in this process. European universities began incorporating translated Arabic works into their curricula, particularly in medicine, astronomy, mathematics, and philosophy. Books by Ibn Sina, Ibn Rushd, and Al-Khwarizmi became standard texts in European universities for centuries. This transmission catalyzed the European Renaissance and later scientific revolution. Copernicus cited Arab astronomers in his work, while Roger Bacon and others acknowledged their debt to Islamic methodology. Islamic arts and architecture as knowledge preservation. Beyond written texts, Islamic scholarship preserved and transmitted knowledge through arts and architecture. Islamic geometric patterns in architecture and decorative arts applied sophisticated mathematical principles, preserving and developing mathematical knowledge through visual forms. The muqarnas, honeycomb vaulting, in mosque domes demonstrates advanced three-dimensional geometry. Astronomical instruments like astrolabes and celestial globes preserved astronomical knowledge in functional, beautiful forms. The astronomical instruments at Samarkand Observatory represented cutting-edge scientific technology. Islamic calligraphy preserved linguistic knowledge and Quranic text, developing diverse styles from Kufic to Naskh to Diwani. Illuminated manuscripts combined aesthetic beauty with textual preservation. Music theory developed by scholars like Al-Farabi preserved Greek musical knowledge while advancing new mathematical understandings of harmony and rhythm. These artistic expressions demonstrate how knowledge preservation in Islamic civilization extended beyond texts to encompass visual, spatial, and auditory forms of knowledge. Continuation in the modern world. The tradition of Islamic scholarship continues in modern forms, adapting to contemporary challenges while maintaining core principles. Traditional centers like Al-Azhar University in Egypt, Deoband in India, and Karawayan in Morocco continue training scholars while modernizing curricula. New institutions like the International Islamic University Malaysia combine Islamic sciences with contemporary disciplines. Digital initiatives are transforming access to classical texts. Projects like Al-Maktaba Al-Shamila offer thousands of classical works online, while collaborative initiatives digitize manuscripts from endangered libraries in Timbuktu, Yemen, and elsewhere. Contemporary scholars like Muhammad Hamidullah, Said Hossein Nasser, Muhammad Hashim Kamali, and Tariq Ramadan engage with classical scholarship while addressing modern contexts. Women scholars like Ingrid Mattson, Zainab Alwani, and Akram Nadwi are reclaiming the tradition of female Islamic scholarship. Open access platforms and online learning have democratized access to Islamic knowledge, continuing the tradition of making knowledge widely available across social boundaries. Legacy and inspiration for today. The legacy of Islamic scholarship offers powerful inspiration for contemporary society, particularly in addressing current challenges in education and knowledge preservation. Islamic scholarship balanced specialization with interdisciplinary approaches, a model relevant for today's fragmented knowledge landscapes. Scholars like Ibn Sina excelled in medicine, philosophy, and theology simultaneously, demonstrating the value of holistic knowledge. The ethical dimension of Islamic scholarship, linking knowledge to character development and social responsibility, provides a model for purpose-driven education. Knowledge was never separated from values and societal benefit. The WAC system that supported educational institutions offers lessons for sustainable educational funding models. These endowments created stable, long-term support for knowledge preservation independent of political fluctuations. The resilience of scholarship during political upheavals demonstrates how decentralized knowledge networks can withstand societal disruption, a lesson particularly relevant in our digital age. The golden age of Islamic scholarship wasn't just about preserving the past, it was about nurturing curiosity, upholding ethics, and sharing light with the world. As we move into the digital age, that same spirit of learning, reflection, and contribution can guide us forward. The scholars who painstakingly copied manuscripts, built observatories, and traveled thousands of miles to learn from a single teacher remind us that knowledge requires dedication, community, and vision. Their legacy invites us to become not just consumers of information, but stewards of wisdom for generations to come. And there you have it. We hope you found this information helpful and thought-provoking. Our goal is always to provide you with content that both informs and engages. If you enjoyed this video and found value in it, we'd be incredibly grateful if you could take a moment to hit that like button. Your positive feedback helps our content reach more viewers who might benefit from it. Don't forget to ring the notification bell to stay updated on our latest uploads. We release new videos regularly and would love to have you join us on this journey of discovery and learning. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, take care and stay curious.